Welcome guys, welcome. This is the demo of Broken Arrow, one of my most anticipated games of 2023. It's a game that I've opened it up, I've had a quick look at it, and it really is exciting. So this is just purely the demo. The demo will be available as of Monday, I forget what date it is, in February, when the next fest starts. It's only going to be available for 1 week. There's only one mission in it, but it's very impressive. You've got a very good feel for the game. It's not a simple mission either, by the way. It's actually quite hard from what I've read about it. So anyway, this will be available as of Monday at 1800 GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, is my understanding of when this will be available, and it'll be available for 1 week only. So if you do want to test the game out for yourselves, then you will be able to sort of take it in from there. Let's go and have a bit of a look and see what we've got. So I will be doing possibly a couple of videos here with this particular version. I think it'll take at least 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 episodes to actually cover the game and cover what it actually does have, and also the limitations we've got with this particular demo. So as I say, only one mission, but it's quite large and quite meaty. Let's just go through the controls and hotkeys so you can get a bit of a feel for what's going on. I think the important thing here, there is no pause, which is sort of funny. And I can't actually override anything. I'm used to using space for the pause, and it doesn't use it for anything else. So when we do get the opportunity ultimately to be able to then pause and unpause the game, then we'll definitely do that. You can give some instructions, like I did test it to see if it was an active pause. It's semi-active. You can give instructions to infantry and things like that, but I did have trouble giving instructions to vehicles. So I just wanted to sort of see how things are going to go and work. The important one really is F1. It just brings this panel back. If we run into any sort of trouble, I'll bring this one back into here. But so you can see the F1 back up through here. But there's a lot in through here. You can see with the keyboard shortcuts, WASD just to move the camera around. But it's quite functional, so we'll just go and press escape to go back out from there. This is message from the team. This is because it's coming for Steam Next. So the Steam Next event. So Steam Next Fest demo, single player campaign mission. Welcome to the Steam Next Fest demo. We're very happy to let you play our game for the first time. In this demo, you will play as the US Marine Corps in a mission of a single player campaign. The game is still in development, so stability and performance might not be the best. Actually, I've got to say, from the little that I did actually play it, I was super impressed at how responsive the map was. I play a lot of these sort of games, I won't go through, I won't sort of list them, but I have played a lot of these over the years, and I am very impressed with the way this one actually does load its assets, and also then sort of like visually, it was, as I say, quite responsive with a lot going on. Well, a reasonable amount going on anyway. So so in some visual or audio assets are still missing. Looks great to me. Also, most unit statistics are rough values that will be tweaked later. Okay, that's good to know. Again, I like reading this sort of stuff because at least we're going to get a context as to what we should expect and what we can sort of what we can look at with the actual game itself. At release, the game will feature a single-player campaign, multiplayer, cooperative scenarios, deck building with more than 300 units based on real vehicles, helicopters, planes, infantry, drones, and more, which is quite interesting, actually. We've only got a small selection of the cards or the decks that we can then play with in this particular scenario, which is fine. It gives us a feel for how the game will actually then go and play. You'll be able to customize your units extensively, resulting in more than 1,500 possible combinations. Now, I'm assuming that means that you will get the actual unit cards and then be able to sort of put different loadouts into them, which does sound very interesting. We don't get to do that in this particular run at all, but it's nice to know what's actually coming. A scenario editor will also be available to let you create your own missions. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing how that works as well, because that will then give this game a lot more life as well. We hope that you will enjoy playing a game even though it's not finished yet. We're waiting for your feedback to determine what should be kept as it is and what should be improved. It looks bloody good to me, actually. I'm just really happy with where it actually currently is by the looks of it. You can give us feedback and suggestions by filling in this quick survey, which is down through here, which I won't do, but I won't do it now. I'll probably just do that one after the fact. Anyway, let's go back out from here. That's just gives it a bit of context. So this is alpha. This is an alpha version. I don't know when the game is due for release, but it looks damn good from what we can sort of see through here. Quite often when you get these alpha releases, it really chews up a lot of resources. Now, I believe it does chew up a lot of resources. It's quite a hefty requirement of the game for your graphics card. Now, my computer system is a few years old now. My graphics system is, I forget how many gigabytes I've got in there, but it's actually not, it's not a low end, but it's not super high end as well. It's fairly medium, and it handles it pretty damn well. If we have a look and see at the, we've got a few different things we can do through here. We can't, like, this is the home area that we're looking at right now. We can't play, so we can't actually play different missions. So this is the only one we can actually do when we don't have the editor. But we do have the arsenal, so we might have a quick look at this one before we sort of get into the actual game itself. And so you've got like the different forces. You've got the hangar, and you've got the army builder. So the army builder will then allow you to then build up your own forces to bring them in, which is, again, really cool. It's because it means that you're going to be able to sort of restructure different things. Now, if we go in, we've got like the Russian forces back in through here. We've got the US forces. I think this will then be a filter to go into like the Marines, I believe. Not sure what all these different arms actually are. Paratroopers. I don't think it's just aircraft. Yeah, no, it is a bit of everything, really. Yeah, the Rangers. Okay, this is Rangers, so this is a paraforce. Is this tank forces? Armor forces? So I can't really quite see different light out infantrymen. So this is like a collections of cards of the different types of units. And you can see when I hover over, particularly, like, for example, if we go back to, we're going to, in this particular mission, going to be using, in fact, if I turn all of them off, it brings everything in. If I just do it essentially by the Marines, so we just have a look at the actual Marine forces, and so you can see on the side there the, like, you know, the descriptions of the actual units. Let's go and open one of them up. Let's go and have a look at an M1A1, I guess. Let's look at one of the battle tanks. So I'll bring this one in so we can sort of have a bit of a look at it. So we can actually sort of have a look at the actual tank itself. It's very, very responsive, I've got to say. Like, it's not chugging at all. Like, it actually really is, you know, it's able to sort of look at the model, and the model looks very, very good. Like, it really does look good. High explosive anti-tank. Now, I'm not sure how we then sort of make the different loadouts. That must be the, that's the health points. I'm thinking we're seeing different armor ratings back in through here, potentially, I'm guessing. We've got different sorts of protections, I guess. We've got kinetic and high explosive anti-tank back in through here as well, with the different sorts of protections. Yeah, armor package back in through there. So does that mean we can then load out different? There we go. There's a different loadout, so we can put in the Arat armor package. There we go. So we've got extra armor now on the side. What else can we do on this thing? You've got the armor package there. That's the only thing looks like we can do with this one at this stage. Again, early days, but it's looking damn good. So that would be then one that we would then have the M1A1 with the Arat armor package in through that side. We're now seeing that this the high explosive anti-tank protection has gone way higher because of this particular package that we've sort of added onto it. You've got different sorts of weaponries in here, like the different Browning guns, etc. For the actual gun itself, I don't think we see the main battle tank. That'll be the speed. That will be the optics in the actual tank itself. Stealth factor of only 1, and then the actual weight. We've got 2 smoke grenades. It's pretty cool the way it's sort of is presenting the actual loadouts in through this side as well. Again, if we just go back to the arsenal, if I just go back and click back into here again, and so I don't know if we were still, yeah, we think we were still actually in this particular group, but we can go into any of these sorts of things if we wanted to have a look and see what Ospreys would then be sort of looking like. This is the Osprey that we have. Again, we've got different sorts of loadouts with different weapons, so we'll be able to bring these in as well. Actually, that's unarmed, and then with a machine gun. So let's put a machine gun on top of it. So it's worth a little bit more, not very much. So that's the Osprey. We've got the actually, if we unload that, does it then make it a bit cheaper? That was, yeah, it does. It was 60, now it's 50. So we're changing, by making these loadouts, we're then changing the cards that we would then have available playing the actual game. We can then also then just go down and say, okay, well, look, what's our recon force that we have available? So we've got sort of like different sorts of jeeps in through this side, scout snipers, just a small sniper team. Back and through here, nothing else we can do with the loadouts through there. Recon forces, just a small little recon force. It's very cool. Then full-on infantry groups like dragon teams, like anti-tank Dragon teams. We've got the Marine Raiders, so just a full-on Marine group with night vision goggles. Marines in through there, so these are just basic Marines without the night vision goggles. Actually, does it show the night vision goggles back over here? It's got 600 vision. This one's 500 vision. It's pretty damn good. Then we've got the SMOR vehicles. I don't know why it's showing just a normal Marine there, and not the actual, not these rocket launchers in through this side. Vehicles, again, different sorts of tanks, M60s as well, LAVs. So we've got armor package weapon systems. We can then sort of change. We've got the LAV anti-tank, and then we've got the LAV. I don't know. Again, this is alpha, so we're sort of seeing like a different sort of loadout through there. That's interesting. So it's the anti-tank modernized. So that would be a pretty cool unit. It's only worth 10 more to have this one. I like it. I like it a lot. Support back in through this side. Now it's interesting. We'll get in and sort of talk about these things. There's the HIMARS that we hear so much about with the war in Ukraine as at this point in time. Again, we've got different sorts of ammunition that we'd be able to then sort of go and pick. Yeah. So anyway, there's the HIMARS system back in through that side. Heaps of them. LAVs in this instance with just sort of guns. LAVMs. So what does this one have? This has got high explosive and tank as well. So we've got the AD. I'm not sure what the AD stands for. It'd be cool if there was information that gave you a bit of information, like just told you a little bit about what was going on here. 25mm cannon, and then we've got the Stingers. Okay, so this is target types: ground, infantry, helicopter, vehicle, helicopter, aircraft. Now that's here. If we have a look and see what we've got the armor package, we can sort of do the like a bit extra armor in through that side if we wanted to. Just adds a little bit more to it. Decks out a little bit more. Yeah, it's not that much. So these here, we've just got the 81mm high explosive and 81mm smokes. This is more of a mortar. That's what the M would be. The M would be the actual mortar system. So this is like a mortar version. If we just go back in and have another look. So they're worth the same in through this side. This is a supply vehicle, I believe. Yep, that's just supplies. And so it's going to then have like a lot of different sorts of capabilities. This is actually something we have to set up on the actual battlefield itself. So we don't just play out a scenario. We have to actually plan for supplies, for reinforcements, all sorts of different things. We've got logistics, nothing in through there. Helicopters, various helicopters in through this side. So we've got the the Apache, I guess. Yep, Marines Apache. That's interesting that it's actually got Marines there. If we go to one of the other forces and have another look, does it sort of change? Let's bring it back in. No, it's all Marines. That makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't just have everything completely different. Again, the inner pylons, outer pylons. I mean, I'm just going to go and do a deep dive of what we can see here because it's going to be a while before we actually get to play the real game. So it is interesting to sort of see what happens. But these are all to build your decks. And then we've got the actual aircraft as well. So the FA-18s inside here, for example, again with the outer, middle, and inner pylons. So we can sort of put like different sorts of loadouts. Mavericks, the 500-pound bombs, the 1,000-pound bombs. So we can put like Mavericks into there, middle pylons. Actually, that's already got Mavericks. And the outer pylons, sidewinders maybe. So it's empty at this stage. And there we go. We sort of see them then be applied to the actual vehicle itself. And then they sort of show in through this side as well. Very, very cool. So, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So anyway, that's the different sorts of vehicles. And we can then sort of see how many points it would then cost to bring it in. So with all of that, now, with what we understand about the game, let's just go in and actually play the demo mission. So I'll let it then describe what's happening, which it does a great job of this. We'll load her in. It takes a little while to just load all the assets in. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the brief.
Gentlemen, we have just received the green light for the landing operation on Baltijsk Peninsula. The Russian Baltic fleet is currently resupplying in the harbor of Kaliningrad and will soon be ready to take the sea. Taking control of this peninsula would trap them in the lagoon, rendering them basically non-operational in the region. Our troops are ready to storm the beach, but according to our latest satellite data, the mobile coastal artillery battery is defending the harbor. These guns must be silenced before we can launch the main assault, or this will turn into Omaha Beach 2.0. The guns have been spotted here. This is a battery of Barrick 152mm howitzers. They can detect and engage fast-moving targets above the water. That includes ships and helicopters. Local intel reports that a battery of surface-to-air missiles is present on the south bank of the lagoon, but the precise position of each launcher is unknown as they're relocated every day. That makes a missile or airstrike way too hazardous. Our best option is to send in a light force to eliminate the anti-air and artillery batteries by surprise and open the way for the main landing. They don't expect that kind of attack, so the ground forces in the area are limited. Commander, you will be in charge of the first wave while I organize the main landing. Prepare your troops, but remember, it's a one-time opportunity, so it's make or break. Make it happen, Commander. Good luck.
Now that briefing is basically in-game graphics, which looks very, very good. This is the in-game graphics. It's just stunning.
Cannot approach as long as the coastal battery located in this fort is operational. The anti-air missiles are located on the other side of the canal. A Russian missile battery generally consists of 6 vehicles. 2 of them have been located on the beach, but the others must be hiding in the nearby city. The reconnaissance group has made contact with the enemy and reports the presence of a tank company defending the area. I hope you brought some dedicated anti-tank units with you. If not, use smoke and buildings to your advantage.
Right, now I'm going to pause as soon as we can. So let's just do that. Again, it would be, I don't know why we can't have a keyboard shortcut for this. I want to now just explain a little bit about what we're seeing and what's going on. So you saw how smooth, I hope you saw how smooth that was. On my screen it was fantastic, but of course the recording may be a bit choppy. I don't know if that's happening or not, but that was super impressive. Let's just have a bit of a look and just sort of see what actually does go on. It's a bit choppy when it went in that first time. As it goes into the areas where we start to get sort of like the higher level graphics, it is sort of loading in, but it's still extremely responsive for a game like this. Better than any other game like this that I've actually that I can remember. Like, it's very, very detailed as we sort of come in looking at the buildings. We can then sort of just use the mouse to sort of to zoom around. We can look right up into the sky, because this game has got like all sorts of forces, like air and air, sea, and land forces. There's the enemy tank. So this is a T-72 with a lot of the special armor on it as well, by the looks of things. So it's now ready for action. Again, looks fantastic. It really is just such a beautiful game, and for a game that looks this good to be this responsive. There's a 272B1. There we go. So we've seen that one through there. Now we don't know where else the enemy actually is. They're going to be hidden away in this particular city, and so we've actually got the whole landmass that we actually have through here. This is all modelled out just beautifully. Like, it's just so damn good. And so I'm not going to apologise for fluffing around and looking at all of the pretty stuff, because this is worth watching. It's just incredible the way it looks. It's just so detailed. It is just beautiful, and you can sort of see as the assets load in, they really do load in quite nicely, quite quickly. We see a little bit of sort of like flicking between the different densities of the models, but so many games could learn a lot by just looking at how they actually handle their assets loading, because it really does a great job of this. And even just the way that the modeling and also the actual texturing of this game as well is just incredibly good, with the spectral highlighting, the whole lot. It's just fantastic. If you sort of zoom out again, it is super responsive. Here's the fort. So we've got like this fort area back and through here, which is actually the ultimate objective, is to destroy the batteries that are operating from somewhere in here. So we have to get across to there. Now to get across there, we're going to have to sort of cover and get across this particular waterway at some point with our forces. Now we have some forces can get across. So there's a church. So yeah, we've got, it shows sort of the limits of what can be in there. Up to 15 different infantry troops can sort of be inside these. 16 inside there, 16. And then as we come across to the bigger forces back and through here, 32 in that one, 32 in that one as well. And so there could be different forces everywhere. We've got, as I said, we've got the tank back in through there. I'll just move it so that we're sort of looking down the road from our direction. But it is beautiful. This is such a good looking game. Now, one of the things that was interesting is when we have a look, we can see that we've got like a couple of scout units back in through here. And when I click on these, what we can see through here is we've actually got like 6 units in the actual in the team. Now it looks like they're on the roof, but they're not. They're just occupying this big block, and so there's firing from the block. Now this is the only area of abstraction which is probably worse than what I've seen in a lot of other games. Like often you'd have to go to the exact floor and the exact side of the building, like to actually sort of then do your firing. In this game, this is abstracted, but I can understand why, because you're dealing with so many different assets, and it is real time. And so it basically it assumes, okay, when you tell a group to go into a building, they're going to then figure out where they need to go. Now, what the game does do, as soon as they enter a building, as soon as one enters, bang, they're all inside and they're all ready to fire. So it's not. That is not a problem, but that is the only area from when I had a quick look at it before where I could sort of think, okay, well that's actually, it's not as good as some of the other games in that one regard, but everything else is just incredible. Now we've actually got a couple of scout forces back in through this side, one in each one of these different locations. Six units out of a total of 32 that can actually occupy that particular building. We also have LAVs. So we've got the LAVs. This is an LAV 25A2. It does actually have the M242. Now I can't sort of see much about what to do with this one, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to move the LAVs. I can't actually tell it to go anywhere. I can sort of direct it. It sort of wants to go there, but if I unpause the game, what I might do is I might just play it on half speed so we can see different things. Now this tank, it's pointing directly down this way at this point in time. Now that tank is going to be very, very difficult for us to deal with. We do actually have this LAV back in through this side. Now I've also got another mortar LAV back in through this other side as well. So I've got the mortars, the 252 mortars in through this other side. Now I don't know if I can actually target this one as such. The mortar, I think, I've got no line of sight. I would like to do some sort of damage in through there. I might just position this one back into there, and this one as well, just into this other location. And we'll just sort of see if these actually do respond. As I say, I would like to be if it does have active pause, which I hope it does have. I mean, it certainly has it with a lot of the other units. Let's move these across into this location. I'll just move the individual units across. Now they're going to be targeted as they come through. So we've got, like, these are different marine groups. We'll split them up and have them sort of come back down through the various areas. Just get them ready. And so we've just got one more group of marines back in through this side. And I think what I'd like to do is actually move them. These are the different things I can do. I can tell it to actually do a fast move. Let's tell it to fast move to here, meaning it's going to try to stay on the roads. Did that do that? Yep. So I'm just telling it to fast move there. We'll see how that works. These others as well. Just go fast move with that one as well. But yeah, I'm finding that it's not really doing. Actually, that's okay. I mean, if we do that, it looks like we have to go fast move and then click where we actually want it. Yeah, okay, that will make sense. So we'll just experiment with this a little bit and just sort of see how we go. All right, that seems to be sort of working. So that's one aspect. Now, this is actually where we get our reinforcements from. So our reinforcements come in from the side of the map. This is the off map. And so we need to now come and there's a few things we need to establish. We've got 129 points back in through this side. And we're getting plus 72 per minute, I guess, is what that actually is through there. These are the cards that we sort of can then build before we come into the actual game itself. And so we've got like more recons. We've got the, again, the same sort of recon team that we have in through here. Or we have the snipers. Now, these are 50 points. That's going to chew up under half, but we'd only be able to bring in sort of like 2 of those if we did that one. Infantry, we've got Marines, we've got... well, actually, the dragon here at 60 points is something. Now, when we click on the dragon, we've got different other ways of doing it. Now, we actually don't have a spawn point for the actual helicopters, so I can't use the helicopters to bring them in. In fact, the Osprey is a work in progress, so we don't get to see that one at all. But we do actually have this this vehicle here. So I'm going to bring that team in as well, and I'm going to position that one initially, I think, just in behind. Like when that one comes through, it's fairly secure there. Let's just go and bring that one into that location. So we're just telling it to come back into there. We've now got 54 points left over. So that was the infantry support. Now we've also got the. This is going to be where we end up getting our supplies. Now this is 20 to get this one, plus supplies is another 10. Now we've got 54 to spend. I can bring in other teams with this as well. So I can bring in this. What I'll do is I'll bring this one in with supply. So I'll bring in supply. I can bring in 2,000 kilograms of supply. That will do. We're down to 14 now. And let's go and move that so we end up with the supply also. Maybe at this location over here. Or actually, this is still fairly central. Let's just go and do this one in here. So we'll just go and add that one to that location. So now if I unpause the game, we'll start to see these will now start to run off. Now we want to see what's actually going on through here. That's now spinning around. And if we have a bit of a look, they're now firing or getting ready to fire at the tank. And so so we've now got this one is now swiveled around. Let's actually just look at it from this angle. Whoa, we just got hit. So again, I just want to pause for 1 second. So we got hit by the tank, I think. I don't think there's anything else we've seen just yet. These are still actually okay. Yeah, we're not seeing anything else there. Let's move this one out of the way. Yeah, they're panicked now. So we'll just move them back across into that area. I think we might wait until we've got infantry that we can then make use of with this. Let's just move that one across to there. Here comes the other supplies. Yep, they've now moved out of the way. Okay, that's now panicked. So if we just pause this one for 1 second and have another look. This one is taking damage. It actually is trying to face the other side now. But that red there means that it's actually been suppressed a little bit. So it's now worried, but there's other vehicles now coming back in through this other side. So we need to look out for these. Yep, it looks like a infantry, not like an IFV. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'll leave it a little bit longer, but it is facing us. So it's reloading. Okay, this one's now been hit. You don't want to lose these. Yep, so BDRM2. Okay, so these are now coming through. If we have a bit of a look, these will probably get hit. That's now moving in. And where the hell is this one going? It's decided to come. The fastest way in was to go in front of everyone, which is not too smart, but anyway, that's what it's decided to do. So these are now coming back in through as well. I think what we might do is we'll I'll just give these actually explicit orders now to try to move in. Now this is probably going to be destroyed. We're now back up to 52 again. Now what we've got through here is we've got the dragon team, which has now come in, and we're going to be wanting to put them in here somewhere. So let's actually just get them marching across, probably into this building back over here. So let's just go and get the dragon team across that side. I can give them explicit orders as well. I can go like sort of shift and just tell them exactly where I want the orders to go, and that one, it should then sort of follow its way through. This thing here is now injured, and what we also have, let's just unpause this for a second. This is not going to survive. Now that dragon team's going to be the one that we're going to have to use to destroy everything. Now what we've done there, God, I wish to see with the space key would sort of then work. These Marines in here have lost 4 units. Let's move them across. Let's rush them into here. So if we go and run, sprint back into here perhaps. So they're going to have to sort of get off the field there. So we've got BDRM2s are sort of now moving their way through. This one, I'm not going to bring this one out until we actually deal with the armor. Let's go and get these dislodged. So we've got like reverse move, we've got unload. So we'll just unload them here, and then we'll start to move move those Marines up. The other Marines that we actually now have over here as well. So these Marines in here. That's the LAV. Unload, and then we'll bring those across. These do actually have some anti-tank weaponry with them as well. We'll use this, I think we'll have this as our main supply. I mean, we could actually move into there and actually have our supply area back in through this other side. What have we got there? It's playground. It's just a little bit out in the open. Let's go and offload these. So if we just go back in and just offload the cargo, that's now their supply area. So we've now got the supply in through that side, and we can then just go tell this one to go back to base. So we don't have any other need. So back you go. That way we get some extra points for that one. And ultimately, what we need to do with this one as well is to tell it to go back and. Probably going to tell it to go back to base as well. These have both taken a bit too much damage. So we'll move them back. Now this is a resupply area, so we can actually move units back that way. Let's go forward again. So they're going for those units, so they're trying to hit them. Still only got the 4 that have been hit. If we can now just go back into here, and we'll unload this particular group just right in here. Unload there. Yeah, these guys are in trouble. So they've been destroyed. We sent them the wrong way round. Now we have the Marines here. Let's go and set them into there. See how they immediately went inside? Now they're going to start to use the anti-tank rifles against everything else. Dragon team, we've put that into there. And it will then start to fire on the enemy. Hear something. There it goes. There goes a dragon.
The reinforcements
Kaboom.
demanded are gathering over time.
So we hit that one.
To call them on the battlefield.
Another one going. Now, is that going to get around the corner before? Yep. No, we missed. We hit the building. Did a lot of damage to the building by the looks. It looked like it took a bit. Another one firing. This is what we need to do. That's been taken out. That's good. And then we've got a launcher at the back there that we can see. It's out of range from our dragon. Now the tanks are still coming back around. What I think we might do, we're up to 160 now, so let's just pause again. And then we'll go back in, and if we run out of ammunition, I can then send the dragons back to supply, back from through this area. Let's go and bring another set of dragons in, maybe a couple actually. If we just go back to infantry. So we can bring in 2. We've only got the MTVR, so we'll move this one across into here. And we'll bring another one as well. Infantry. Oh, okay, we don't have enough. We only had 2 of them available. Got stingers. Maybe we'll bring one of these in as well. And we'll bring that in. Oh, hang on, we don't have any of those either. So we have to go back with those. In that case, what we'll do is we'll send this MTVR back as well. And back to the base. And so that will then go back so we can bring more forces back in. It's pretty damn cool. Like this is only the early stages of the actual battle itself. What I might do, guys, is I might actually leave this episode here. I'm just going to keep on playing this one at half speed and a lot of pausing. So it's probably going to frustrate a lot of you, but I do want to sort of just really go in through the nitty-gritty. I'm trying to really evaluate what the game does, what it shines with, and certainly graphically it looks fantastic. Like there really is a lot to like about what this thing does. The modelling of the shots as well, like that tank has taken a bit of damage, but we didn't get to kill it. We do actually have some others further back. So we want to take, first of all, probably these buildings in here, and we do have houses we could go to, but these buildings here I think will give us a much better field of fire down along the front there. So we've still got this one in through here. We've got the Marines in here as well. And so what we can do with these is actually just get them to start to march across. So let's just go and get them to, well, just grab them again and just right-click and tell them to go into that particular building. And they should be okay, I think, but we don't really know what's along these roads either. So, guys, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. This has been episode 1 of this demo. I don't even know how far into this I'll play. I want to give you enough to excite you, but you can download the demo anyway as of Monday. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in episode 2. I'll try to load these up fairly readily so you can sort of have a bit of a look.